Good evening and welcome to the Business Day. I'm Javon Keys. The Bank of Jamaica is projecting that for December 2023, currency issued by the bank will increase by $29.7 billion. If achieved, the $283.4 billion would be 11.7% higher than the $253.7 billion issued by the central bank as of November this year. Now, the BOJ says this projected growth represents a year-over-year increase in currency issue of 21.2%. Now, the central bank says the projected growth is consistent with higher cash demand for the calendar year to date and reflects continued growth in both real gross domestic product (GDP) and the prices of goods and services. Developing countries are now faced with limited financing options. The World Bank says this is exacerbated by higher debt servicing costs. The bank says in 2022, new external loan commitments to public and publicly guaranteed entities in these countries dropped by 23%, reaching $371 billion. This was the lowest level in a decade. Now, private creditors largely stayed away from lending to developing countries, receiving $185 billion more in principal repayments than they disbursed in loans. That marked the first time since 2015 that private creditors had received more funds than they put into developing countries. Now, new bonds issued by all developing countries in international markets dropped by more than half from 2021 to 2022, and issuances by low-income countries fell by more than three-quarters. Now, back home, the US dollar is being sold for an average $155.83. $117 is the going rate for the Canadian dollar. The average cost for the pound is $196.63, while it's costing $172.02 for the euro. And the JSE index lost 15 points today, while the junior market index declined by 39 points. Among the 35 winners were 138 Student Living Jamaica Variable Preference Shares, Epley 7.75% Preference Shares, Lasco Financial Services, Sagicor Select Funds Manufacturing and Distribution, and Paramount Trading Jamaica. Now, the 48 decliners were led by Jetcon Corporation, Epley 7.5% shares, preference shares due 2024, iCreate, which is currently in receivership, MFS Capital Partners, and Main Event Entertainment Group. Now, 24 stocks ended the session at the same price they started trading on Tuesday. And that's it for the Business Day. I'm Javon Keys. Good evening.